Let's see, as Facebook gathers me an audience, if they gather me an audience. Been a little too outspoken lately. So let's see if they're going to actually gather me an audience. And if they choose to. There we go. So it looks like we have 11 of you on. That's one of my favorite numbers. I feel a connection to the number 11. How are all of you? I just had a pickle to eat. Pickle that I fermented myself. So I wanted to say hello to all of you and welcome. And if you could do me a favor as you come on this video, if you could simply hit the thumbs up button on the video and tell me in the comments section where you are tuning in from. So hit the thumbs up, tell me in the comments section where you are tuning in from. And as you do that, I'm gonna take this, a friend of mine called it a harmonica the other day. It's not, it's called the Love Tuner. It's attuned to 528 megahertz. It's a little whistle. And I'm gonna blow on it, and it is the vibration of the heart chakra. And what I'm gonna talk to you guys today is I'm gonna actually give you 10 ways to calm yourself during traumatic times. So 10 ways to deal with trauma, because I think we would all agree that right now is a pretty traumatic time. And although I make, light of things because I like you guys to smile, I like to make you guys laugh, I'm kind of a goofy person by nature, I know how serious this is. And so let's start with, okay, good, it's on. Let's start with calming the vibration, tuning into the vibration of the heart chakra. So I'm just going to give this a big blow. That nice how it just kind of calms your energy down. So thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for telling me where you're tuning in from. And what I want to do is I want to give you 10 tips on how to deal with trauma, anxiety, and angst in your gut, in your heart, in your spirit, in the mind, right? I think all anxiety starts in the mind, and we can take a situation where maybe some of you are being affected by what's going on. Maybe you know someone who is struggling or who is ill, or maybe you're just struggling with solitary confinement, right? So I'm really reaching out to you no matter what you're struggling with. And I would say the first key to really tuning into where our trauma is to tuning into our breath, right? When we tune into our breath, we can feel where we're truly feeling that anxiety in our body. So, for example, I did this the other day in a meditation outside with all of you. So if I breathe from my stomach, it's different than breathing from my chest. So when I breathe, I want to breathe from my core. So it almost sounds like a motor, right, in the back of my throat. So when I breathe in, I want my exhalation to be longer than my inhalation. Thank you guys for sharing the video. Feel free to hit the share button, share it on your wall, share it in groups. So as I breathe in, excuse me 1 second. Ina, come on. Ina. Good boy. Ina, hey. Ina. So when I exhale, my exhale is twice as long as my inhalation. And as I let go on that exhale, I can actually feel in my body, right, where I am feeling that anxiety. So for example, right now I felt a little bit of angst in my heart chakra, right? So what I'm going to do to heal that trauma is I'm going to breathe into my heart chakra, and I'm going to use visualization. So the first step is deep breathing. The second step is really using guided imagery to imagine my heart filling up with light, white light, gold light. I'm going to choose pink light, right? So I'm going to breathe in, and I'm going to feel that in my chest. You can even do this with lung issues. You can breathe in. And as I exhale, I'm going to imagine all the darkness going out, and then my heart just bursting and filling up with pink light that's just going out everywhere, right? So you can all try it with me if you'd like. So breathe in. And as I breathe out, that exhalation that's twice as long as the inhalation, I am breathing out darkness, right? Negativity. And I am expanding my heart chakra open. And I'm feeling a state of calm. Why? Because I'm in tune with my breath. So you can do this when you're walking. You can do this from your bed, right? So deep breathing. Guided imagery. Let's talk about guided imagery for a second. So say you live in Alaska, right? And it's freezing there, and you're in your bedroom practicing social distancing, and you feel a little alone and trapped and, you know, what have you. You can actually sit with your eyes closed and imagine yourself sitting on a beach in front of the ocean on a yoga mat with a big green juice in front of you or whatever drink you like. And you can practice this over and over and over again for 10 to 15, 20 minutes even, until it really sets in. And what I like to do is I like to put my pinky finger right here, and I like to just kind of rub in a circular motion just right between my eyes. And then eventually I just kind of lay my hand on my lap, and I usually imagine myself like in the bottom of like the Grand Canyon. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, right? I've always wanted to go. Maybe when all this is over, I'll actually do it, right? I think a lot of us are wanting to do things we never did. So I'll imagine myself just sitting Indian style, meditating, just at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, just right in the center. And I'll practice the deep breathing where I inhale and I exhale longer than my inhalation, and I exhale the negative and imagine wherever I'm feeling angst, trauma, or anxiety in my body, filling up with whatever color light I choose, gold, white, pink. So guided imagery, deep breathing, yoga. There are thousands of free yoga videos on YouTube. There's even yoga from a chair. So if you are confined to a wheelchair or confined to your bed, there are yoga videos that you can find on the internet where you just do the arm movements, right? So yoga. So deep breathing, guided imagery, yoga. Now, what do you think the fourth one is going to be? Nature. Yesterday, I went on a food foraging little hike, and I found fresh rosemary, and I picked wildflowers, and I shared them with all of you on my stories. And again, I know I get kind of goofy on my stories, but it's all because I'm trying to kind of bring you guys back to, you know, what's important. nourishing your body, right? So nature, there's nothing more grounded than walking outside in unsprayed grass or on the sand, not on the pavement, but unsprayed grass or on the sand barefoot. So nature is very grounding. So we've got deep breathing, we've got yoga, we've got nature. Try to spend an hour out in nature every day. Vitamin D. Despite popular belief, the sun is not what causes skin cancer. The chemicals in sunscreens actually also lead to skin cancer. So you really want to do your research about that. But you can cover up where you feel is necessary. So yoga, deep breathing, guided imagery, nature. Next, meditation. Now, I'm more of a breath with movement yoga type of person, but I have taught myself to meditate over the past year. And it's really freeing to start your day with 5 to 10 minutes of just sitting Indian style and reminding yourself that everything is going to be okay, that you are doing the best that you can, that if you have internet and can watch this right now, then you have a roof over your head, then you are doing better than a big portion of the population. And that as long as you make conscious daily decisions, right, everything will turn out for your highest good. Now, the point of meditation is to free your mind. But what I like to do is I like to remind myself of that first before I go into a meditation. So I'm reminded of that. And then I'm able to stay in that conscious state, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. I'm doing the best I can. Okay. Everything's going to be, I'm strong. Okay. And then the meditation. So deep breathing, guided imagery, nature, yoga, free videos of yoga, meditation. So we're at number 6, art therapy. So I've shared with all of you that I have coloring books, right? A lot of them are like tarot coloring books or spiritual coloring books and colored pencils. So art therapy is amazing when it comes to releasing, right? So just coloring, using a coloring book, painting. How many of you paint? What a beautiful gift that is. Drawing, sketching. Art therapy is a wonderful way to release anxiety and trauma from the mind, first of all, and also from the body. Your body tends to relax when you focus elsewhere. So that leads me into the next one, which is number 7, which is journaling. So for all of you writers, I'm a writer. I can't spell worth a darn, but I love to write. So writing is an excellent way to release trauma, to release anxiety. Journaling. Every morning, afternoon, and night. Some of us have time on our hands now. Some of us don't. So, deep breathing, yoga, meditation, nature, guided imagery, art therapy, journaling. 2 more that I really love are music therapy. So the love tuner that I blew for you, listening to music. You know, you might not want to listen to sad love songs right now. I found it a little bit eerie that people were listening to Christmas music and putting up their Christmas trees, but hey, to each his own. I thought it was a little bit matrixy, but that's another, yeah. But you know, whatever makes you feel good right now. If it's Christmas music, so be it. Turn on the Christmas music. If it's opera, if it's house music, if it's hip hop, like for me, like I turn on some good, 50 Cent or something and dance around the house. I do it while I'm juicing. I do it while I'm making food, which leads me to the last way to release trauma. And this is going to be for a good number of you that are discovering this about yourself, and I call it food therapy. It's something that I've always used in my life since I was very young. I take a lot of joy in, grocery shopping, which we can't really do to our luxury right now, but in creating food. Food is art to me. A salad is art, even when I don't have access to edible flowers. growing food, growing herbs and putting them into a bowl and mixing them and cooking, potato soup or cream of celery soup, raw vegan, or making food is therapy for me. It's how I love people. It's how I show my love. One of the ways, physical touch and food therapy, making healthy food for people I love. So that's another way to release trauma. So I'm going to go over these with you again. And thank you so much for being on here. And thank you for all of you who have liked this video, who have shared this, who have hit the follow button. You can subscribe to my 2 YouTube channels at Andrea Cox TV and the Detox Intuitive. Andrea Cox TV, you'll find all my health and wellness and recipes and things like that. The Detox Intuitive gets a little more into spirituality. So let's go over these again. So this is how to heal trauma, anxiety in the body. And, you guys see crystals all around me. You see the salt lamp. There's other ways that cost a lot of money to heal yourself. There's ways that I'm going to be introducing you to over the next few weeks. But I wanted to tell you now how you can heal yourself without spending $1, right? Deep breathing. Morning, evening, afternoon meditation 3 times a day. Nature, getting out in nature. If you are confined to a wheelchair, for some reason I feel like I need to say that. So maybe some of you are caring for someone right now, or maybe you are in a wheelchair or something like that. But getting out in nature, vitally important. Yoga, tons of free videos. Even if you're confined to a bed or a chair, there's videos where they have seated yoga. I looked at it first. I was like, I'm not going to put that out there if it doesn't exist. So you just search YouTube. These are free, and they're available to you right now. Guided imagery, imagining yourself outside if you have to be inside. Imagining yourself with your loved ones. What a great manifestation to visualize if you're away from your elderly parents. To actually imagine yourself with them in the future. Art therapy, journaling, food therapy, and music therapy. And I wanted to close this out by saying, and I've said this already, I think that the elderly community, they're, staying inside. They're not seeing their grandkids. Some of them aren't even, able to see their kids. And they're faced with all this news stuff, right? And this constant badgering that this is an elderly disease, etc. So if you have the ability to go to your next door neighbor, right, who's 79 years old and say, hey, do you need anything? I'm going to leave it on your front porch. Do that. Do that. And love your animals at this time. Your animals are so happy that you're home. They're like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I don't even know what to do with myself. And if you have the ability and the means, adopt an animal at this time. The animal shelters are flooded. They are flooded. They are flooded. So great karma for you, knowing how the animals were treated in China and less affluent places in the States and everywhere right now, right? To rescue a dog, a cat, an animal. And I love you guys. I am not going to push veganism or anything else on you right now. I'm just going to say that I love you and I only want the best for you. And I hope you have a beautiful evening with your family and your pets, and that you check on your elderly next door neighbors or neighbors down the street, or do that. Okay? I was going to say something kind of funny, but it's not very funny. So I was going to say, basically, I am my elderly neighbor's BITCH right now, because I am. They know that they can call me and I'll just get in my car and do everything. So be that person right now. Be that. And let's all step outside of ourselves and see what we can do as a community. Okay, I love you. Thank you so much. Bye. Be well. Bye.